I'm going to demonstrate the Trace Explorer functionality of IQNECT. So this feature is available in most of the IQNECT cards that you would see in semantic search results or enhanced trace view or dashboards. So let's start this off by looking for something using semantic search. So this feature is going to expand on the capabilities that you've seen in the view upstream and downstream items options, as well as the enhanced trace view. But this is going to graphically visualize the item and its relationship hierarchy. So we have two new options here. One is called View Traces and the other is Explore Traces. So with View Traces, what this does is it loads that initial item that we had searched for, and it shows the immediate upstream and downstream relationships of this item, but it also goes to other levels based on those further related items as well. In this view here, we can scroll around by clicking and dragging in this gray area to move around. We also have a little mini map here that you can also scroll around in. We can zoom in and zoom out. Again, this is useful depending on the size of your data set. And we can also preview an item. So when we select a particular node or item in this diagram, click preview, you'll see a little bit of information about that. Clicking on any other item, you'll see the same preview for those as well. So we can turn that on or off. We also have a find functionality here. So we see the items and they're grouped by the trackers that they belong to. So we can click directly onto one of these items. It's going to take us to that item and highlight it for us. I can also look for text inside of what is returned in these results. So if I look for the word bulb, for example, we see there are several here, and we can highlight the one and go right to that inside of this view. So it's a very convenient way to look at your hierarchy of data. The other thing I want to point out is that these nodes here in this graph are movable, so you might have some obscured relationship lines behind, and so you can move them around so you can see them and trace them a little bit easier visually for you. Now, we also have an Explore Traces option. This is very similar, however, it starts with just a single item, and when you select that item, you can now choose to follow the upstream or downstream traces by name. So you can look, in this case, for example, let's look at the upstream customer requirement specifications, and it will display the one that we are derived from. We can also look at the downstream related items, in this case, system architecture. So we have these two that we're related to. Now, if I select one of these other items, say a system architecture, I now have different options available in the traces menu here. And again, this is based on the configuration of this particular tracker. So the system architecture in this case goes down to software requirements. Software requirements, I can go down further to say like verification test if I want. Let's say I'm looking at this item here, the software requirements. I can isolate the traces, and what that does is it temporarily removes all of the other items that are not directly in this relationship chain from this item. So we can turn that off and we'll get this back. So we also have the same zoom in, zoom out, and find functionality that we did with the other View Traces option, but this allows you to specifically target the exact relationships you want to see. So again, now I can go upstream from here and I can see more system requirements related to this. So this is a very, very dynamic way of exploring your relationship data.